Hi everyone, this is Veronica, and today we are going to discuss about concerns in Ayushman Bharat scheme. So recently it has been celebrated, its success has been celebrated, but yes, still there are a lot of concerns which are hooked up with this scheme, so we'll discuss in detail. For my video updates, you can follow me on Instagram, and the PDF of this lecture will be uploaded on my Facebook profile and Telegram channel. So this is a channel StudyIQ. If you're preparing for any government exam, our pen drive and tablet courses are also available. You can see here a list of courses. So if you wish to have any knowledge or any information about any of these courses, you can call our numbers or you can visit our website. So now, what is the relevance of this topic in your exam? The particulars of the scheme is very important. They have been discussed several times on the platform of StudyIQ, and here we'll discuss about the challenges, especially in the implementation of this scheme. Now see what is the issue. This particular Ayushman Bharat National Health Protection Mission, it needs a relook given the implementation concerns with it. Ayushman Bharat, it had two main perspectives. One was healthcare centers had to be open, and other was health protection mission, that is NHPM. So there's much wider issue concerned with related with this part of the scheme. So now, why this part? See, the rising out of pocket expenditure of the citizens is a key concern in the healthcare sector. So what is out of pocket expenditure? Suppose a person is spending ₹100 on his health. So government tries to give subsidy or fulfill his demands up to 60%, so that only 40 he needs to spend from his pocket. But here reverse thing is happening. More expenditure from the pocket of the people are going towards the healthcare sector. Now, among different sources of healthcare financing, 67% of total health expenditure comes from households' pocket. So yes, as I told you, so if it's ₹100, 67 is coming from the people's pocket, which government wants to reduce. Health expenses push to 7% of population below poverty every year. So you can see this data. This is very bad that 7% of people every year, they are pushed below the poverty every year, and in this background, that is why government launched this particular scheme, Ayushman Bharat, to reduce the out-of-pocket expenditure. That is why it was launched. Now let's see, is there a measure which can work out for this thing? The Ayushman Bharat, it shares its objective with the Rashtriya Swasthya Bima Yojana, this component, right? This component, that is National Health Protection Mission. Okay, so National Health Protection Mission, this component of Ayushman Bharat, it shares its objective with Rashtriya Swasthya Bima Yojana scheme. So RSBY, that is Rashtriya Swasthya Bima Yojana, it sanctioned ₹30,000 health insurance coverage per family per year for secondary and tertiary hospitalization. And in nearly 9 years of RSBY existence, the scheme's objectives are yet to be met. Now, the quality of healthcare provision under RSBI was compromised because of insufficient coverage. In this respect, the Ayushman Bharat scheme is a positive step with an increased coverage limit of 5 lakh. That under NHPM it is from 30,000, it has been increased to 5 lakh. However, some less desired aspects of RSBI are reflecting in this Ayushman Bharat National, this particular mission, protection mission, also National Health Protection Mission scheme as well. So the capacity of increased coverage to reduce the actual out-of-pocket expenditure is limited in the current form of this scheme. So all the deficiencies of RSBY are visible in NHPM also. Now see what are the wider concerns here which are continuing. The first is coverage. Despite the increase in coverage amount, this ABNH, so I'll just say in short, Ayushman Bharat National Health Protection Mission, I will refer it as NHPM. So here you can see, despite the increase in coverage amount of ABNHPM is limit only to inpatient care. inpatient care. So this is important here. This is valid for inpatient. So there are two types of patients. One are outpatients, one are inpatients. Inpatients who take admission in the hospital, and outpatients are the day the people come to see the doctor and then they go away, right? So the rupees 5 lakh cover is intended for secondary and tertiary care hospitalization only, and no primary care is involved here. Now the outpatient expenditure, which forms a major part of this out of pocket expenditure, has been left out of the ambit of AB NHPM. Now, poorer people functioning on daily income tend to avoid hospitalization due to associated loss in working income. Therefore, outpatient care inclusive of diagnostics and medicines needs to be ensured for them. So, this is the first concern. Next is the private players. See, the private sector participation in healthcare services has been increasing at the quick rate in urban areas while remaining more or less constant in rural areas. So if you take a data of 2014-15, over 68% of hospitalized cases in urban areas and 42% in rural areas got recorded in private hospitals. So here you can see coverage of private hospitals. Even in top performing states with the highest government health expenditure, the spending in private sector in out of pocket expenditure form is quite high. But the scheme in its current form may not be able to account for the rising private players' participation. The increase in compensation under AB NHPM holds value only when it is able to induce insurance coverage for healthcare services provided by the private sector. So the list of hospitals empaneled under the scheme does contain many private hospitals. But what is the problem here? But under the single rate card provision of the scheme, the private sector's willing participation seems unlikely. This is because the prices proposed under the rate card fall much below the expectations of the private sector healthcare providers. So therefore, they are not willing to treat those patients, and hence OOP for the poor people rises. Now next is medical packages list. So now see what's the concern here. Preparing the entire medical procedure list at the central level is a potentially suboptimal move. Now, this is a challenge given in the heterogeneity in the healthcare needs and disease prevalence across the country. So, there's a study under the India State Level Disease Burden Initiative. So, I'll write here, it was a state level disease burden initiative. So this highlights the need for state-specific health interventions. There are comprehensive inequalities in disease burden and its causes across the states. So there is a deep-rooted need for disease-specific interventions with specialized attention to associate the risk factors. So now just see the ground reality of a health sector. Here the India holds the rank 145th among 195 countries in healthcare quality. So you can see we have very poor quality of health in our country. Then the country spends around 1.3% of GDP on health. That is way less than the global average of 6%. And then the 70% of total healthcare expenditure is accounted by the private sector. Then I have already told you that private sector, they are already unwilling to be part of such schemes. Healthcare bills are single biggest cause. This is very alarming, that healthcare bills are single biggest cause of debt in India, with 39 million people being forced into poverty every year. 39 million people. That is a huge number. Now what can be done? See, cooperative federalism can go a long way in addressing the above challenges. How? The state's role needs to be enhanced at planning stages, a shift from their current role as implementers. For example, state could be given the responsibility of preparing the medical package list, because as I told you, the type of diseases differ from state to state. So that package list should be customized with different states for different states. This will encourage cost-effective accounting for interstate variation. Also, if poorer states could set up lucrative prices for healthcare packages, it could augment private investment in these states. So while the objective of the scheme is welcome, the implementation challenges deserve some serious thoughts, right? So increased states' participation and inflation-adjusted rights for procedures could help India progress towards universal health care, goal, right? So this is one way forward that I have told you. What you think, you can write in the comment box. Thank you. Yeah, and the PDF will be uploaded on the Telegram channel.